air, water, earth, fire. For hundreds of years, the four nations have lived in harmony. The Avatar, master of all four elements, was always responsible for maintaining the peace. But Avatar Roku passed away 13 years ago. Now, the four nations look to the air nomads to reveal the next Avatar, but the world is met with silence. Rumors from the Earth Kingdom abound that the Fire Nation is planning an aggressive move into the Earth Kingdom. 5 young heroes were too late to save the Southern Air Temple, but they hold vital information that could save the Earth Kingdom and maybe even save the world. Previously on the Flying Bison podcast.
As a thank you for saving his son, King Malo of Amashu teaches Che the secrets to controlling genomite crystals. But the form is harder to learn than the young earthbender wants to admit. As they stop for the night, will a visit from Che's military syndicate father, Now Zhao, bring up Che's old wounds? Tune in this week.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Flying Bison podcast. Oh, boy. It's, what day is it?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
I forgot.
Oh, it's 2 days at happy belated Valentine's Day, all of you.
Oh, thanks. You. Happy Valentine's to you, Justin.
Yeah.
And
I think we all know each other well enough to say that platonically we're Valentines.
Getting some slow nods of agreement.
Yeah, a little quiet though, so I'll just...
No, Johnny hates
us.
Just
slowly back up my advances.
Put my heart out there, and then it just got crushed by my friends, so that's fine. We'll move on, and I'll ask you this instead. Have you ever learned something, and you just had, like, literally 0 categories in your mind for how to classify that information? I'll give you an example. I want you to Google Colugo. Colugo. Listeners, if you're following along at home, you can also Google the word Colugo. Colugo? I don't even know how to say it. Colugo.
Yeah, Colugo maybe?
It is an animal. It is both simultaneously the most terrifying and cute animal I've ever seen in my entire life. And who wants to take a stab at describing what they are seeing?
Well, when it's in full flight and all you see is the underside, you get a little bit of, like, flesh manta ray vibes in the air.
Yeah. And as far as its, like, face, it's like if you took, like, I don't know, like a squirrel, maybe, and just kind of squeezed it a little bit so its eyes popped out. You know? Kind of like that. Bizarre.
Looks like a face of a bat, maybe?
Oh, yeah, more bat-like, yeah. But still squeezed.
Yeah, like the ears aren't quite as...
Very squeezed.
I saw it, and I was like, well, A, this looks like an Avatar animal, because this looks like some weird, like...
mixture, like...
bat, like, something hybrid. And do you know what these things are colloquially called? Flying lemurs.
That makes sense based on the way they look to me.
Imagine how terrifying this would be if this was Momo?
Yeah, he's not as cute.
So I was watching this video, and this thing was like, it doesn't have like feet. It's just like a flesh kite.
Oh, I hate that terminology.
It sounds like something else.
And it was like hopping around on the back of some guy, and it can't like walk or move. It just like glides everywhere. And I had literally like my brain just shut down because I had no way to classify what this animal was. I've never seen anything like this ever in my entire life.
I mean, like when it's in flight, it kind of looks like a starfish. You know what I mean?
Like
it's
it does.
Yeah. Especially if you like, the smaller the image gets, the more it can probably fool you that it's like a starfish or something. But yeah, it's really interesting. How did you find this?
It looks alien.
It does, yeah.
Oh, you know, how do you find terrible news and information? Reddit.
Okay.
It was on Reddit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was scrolling on Reddit and I saw this and I'm like, what is that?
Do they sleep like sloths? Like they're just kind of hold on to the branch?
I think they're nocturnal.
But they have to sleep during the day. Like they have to sleep.
They still sleep at some point.
Yeah, they sleep during the day. I don't know how they sleep.
Justin's just freaking out still. Do they sleep hanging upside down? They're nocturnal. What's up with you, bro?
I'm telling you, it's time. Because
you don't understand. This thing really threw them off.
That's why their eyes are so bugged out.
That's why they're hairless on the bottom. They just don't sleep.
I told you, Steve, it's because I saw this thing and I didn't have a category for this. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't a bucket to place this knowledge in. I was like, it's a bat, it's a kite, it's a alien. It doesn't work.
So I feel this way when I get introduced to physics principles, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Physics is not intuitive to me. So like when I first heard about like how airplanes work, like how a gigantic, super heavy metal object can actually get off the ground and stay off the ground. The getting off the ground part I get more so. But Bernoulli, is it called Bernoulli's principle? Bernoulli effect? I forget.
I'm not a physicist.
But like this aspect of like creating lift through air current in a way that decreases the pressure above the plane and increases the pressure below the plane. Like still really doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that something that heavy should ever be in the sky. This is how I feel every time I fly.
What about ships?
I got another one to blow Steve's mind. So when things are in orbit, they aren't like flying. They're falling. They're constantly falling towards the Earth, and that is why they're in orbit. So they aren't like maintaining a direction, parallel to the Earth. They are
like
falling.
A satellite, for example?
Yeah, exactly.
You would describe that as perpetually falling.
Yes, they are literally.
Even if it stays in orbit.
Yeah.
So, the reason it stays in orbit is because it is just on the edge of Earth's gravitational pull, essentially. So, Nick's right, it's falling, but it's out far enough that it's affected by other gravity than Earth's. That's how things stay in orbit because otherwise every satellite that's ever been launched would be would have fallen by now.
Sorry, it's simultaneously falling, but also it's accelerating perpendicular to the Earth.
Yeah.
Right.
See, but hang on though. Hold up.
Also, we don't know how gravity works.
These are just smart concepts that none of us are smart enough to understand. Like, I have some of those categories, right? When you talk about gravity and falling, it's like, yeah, I'm not a physicist. I don't get math, but like you explain it, I'm like, okay, like I could see how that makes sense. But if you were to be like, hey, did you know that satellites aren't actually flying? They're actually pooping out stardust. And that stardust is what creates new planets. I'd be like, I don't understand.
You want something
that.
At that
I don't understand that concept at all. I have no category for that.
Here's one that's going back to animals, but it's one of those things where it's like I have trouble wrapping my mind around it. Is wombats poop cubes?
Like, that's a great one.
That's really good.
That's a great.
That's quality.
What? How do they do that? I have no category for that concept.
Literally,
it's just a Pez machine.
Biologists have only figured out in the last, I think 5 years how that even happens.
Like, are their intestines square shaped?
I don't even know. I have not gone far enough down this hole to figure out what they've figured out. All I know is that wombats poop cubes, and that was enough. I was like, okay, I'm done learning about wombats.
It's perfect example, Johnny.
It's like that line from Arthur where there's a square balloon, and W's like, "How do you make square balloons?" And they were like, "You blow square breaths." And she's just like, "Oh." That was it. That was the whole line. The scene ends there. It's literally that, but with wombats.
You got anything, Monroe? What do you think?
I'm trying to figure out how I'm in this conversation. Like, how did I get here? With cubed poop, and I'm like, once I got that, I was like, what are we talking about here?
We're talking about stuff that just doesn't make sense.
I know there's a lot. I guess it's like how flames don't have shadows.
That's a good one. That's
a
good one.
I like that.
Yeah. It's fire. It should have...
You would think.
Something. Yeah, right?
But they don't have shadows.
Man, the world. What a crazy place.
Can I throw one more in there that I just read about today?
Please.
Extreme rogue waves on the ocean. Just inexplicable, sometimes 85 feet tall waves. Used to be thought of as a thing of nautical legend. Literally until 1995, we didn't have any accurate, solid recording data of freak waves. But now we have a few on record. Like one just like smacked the crap out of an oil rig in I think Norway or Sweden off the coast.
Sure.
And we just had the in 2020 the biggest one on record in the North Pacific, not by height but by volume. It's kind of nuts.
That's pretty nuts. The world is a
I don't
crazy
know why
place.
giant waves just come out of nowhere and destroy stuff, but it does happen.
You know what? On this vein, I've always never understood traffic.
Like with cars.
Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the
Explanation?
same. Yeah.
Okay, so like you're driving on the highway, right?
Yep.
Monroe gets it. She's in California. You're driving on the highway.
You don't really
and then
drive.
there's like a mile
You park on
where
the
there's
highway.
just it takes you 45 minutes to go a mile because there's so many cars.
Nope.
And then
Accident.
all of a sudden,
No nothing.
no accident, and then all of a sudden, at the end of that mile, cars are going the normal speed again.
It's
I
called
was
the
always
accordion.
told. Yeah.
It is the
Snake
accordion.
effect.
I was told
He's
it's
right.
always like merging.
Yeah, it's merging. Merging is now.
It's essentially a patterned echo of when something was a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's accordioning is usually caused by merging, and accordioning is the situation that you're running into.
Nick, I've never heard anyone play the accordion on the highway, so I don't know what you're
So
talking about.
You're
Yeah.
wrong because there's no accordion. It starts off with merging, and then like people take the opportunity to switch lanes,
Yeah.
and then that
There's-
just
there's
causes a
also-
ripple effect.
There's also one of the other big factors that comes into play, especially with what you're talking about, Justin, where like you're not looking, there's no on ramp where the traffic kind of lets up. It's not necessarily an issue of merging, but there might have been an accident there or something like that. But that's cleaned up, it's gone, but the traffic remains. A lot of times that is because there's psychological studies showing that like it's like 98% of people, some ridiculous number, will do everything in their power to avoid making decisions for themselves. And then once a pattern is established, people will simply follow that pattern.
I
And
believe
I
so-
don't think you guys are thinking about it enough. I think it doesn't make
You might
sense
be
to you
thinking about it too much.
And
I feel like we just gave a
That's
lot of
fine.
reasons as to why this happens. and you're like, no.
I just like revealing how dumb I am.
It's inexplicable. It's a mystery, guys. It's a mystery. There's no explanation.
There were maybe some dumb mistakes made while you all were camping last night. Che was woken up mysteriously by a figure and turned around and saw his dad. How did he get there? What is he doing there?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
What?
No, I know what he's doing there. We know what he's doing there now. Told you to follow him. Showed you this giant factory. He started building war
Gemi,
machines.
Gemi, as a responsible party member, would like to point out that Che was not woken up. He abandoned his watch when his watch was interrupted.
It is true. You're right. It is true. Che left all of you guys to sleep and maybe die. Che could have come back to a I don't know.
An empty camp?
Yeah, an empty camp. I suppose that would be the natural consequence of that. Huh? But he didn't, thankfully.
He could have been
Che came
pancaked by
back.
badger moles.
It was fine.
It was fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. There's no Fire Nation in the Earth Kingdom. Some other stuff happened. Gemi tried to steal something from Ren. Didn't. Liko was watching him the entire time. And we pick it up pretty much there. You guys
Morning?
wake up. Yeah, in the morning. There's a rooster crab in the background. That makes
Could have
that
been a
noise.
crab.
Yeah, a rooster crab. Yep.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
I was going for like rooster or pterodactyl, but I didn't really nail the side of things.
That sound more like a crab.
That's
sorry.
also the noise that crabs make. Yeah, that's
It's a crab.
Of course, I've heard many crabs say this.
Expert.
We've established I don't understand how animals work,
Yeah.
Steve, so
you know, crabs, those extremely vocal creatures.
How goes what, Justin? What does it do? Does anyone want to wake up? I feel like we're all very reluctant to be
I'll wake up
conscious.
first. So Liko wakes up
Well-
first. Oh, do you want to say something?
Well, I was going to say Gemi's already up because he's been on watch, so I think that he'd probably grab some supplies and start trying to make breakfast for everybody.
Liko, she kept her eye on Gemi for quite some time. She would go in and out of sleep, but she
Couldn't keep her eyes off him, though.
sure. And then she wakes up and she just she notices Gemi and then makes her way to Rue to see how she's doing. All the while keeping one eye on Gemi. Because she doesn't trust him.
Thanks for the reason.
Have to put that in there.
You sure there's no other reason?
For our listeners, I think there was some eyebrow raising right there from Monroe.
Maybe.
But who knows?
Who knows?
It's in the past now.
Ren, Shay, what about the rest of you?
Jay's gonna stay laying for a while and just kind of wait for breakfast to be done. And whenever it is, he'll roll out of bed and grab some food.
Gemi's making breakfast, or who's making breakfast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gemi's making breakfast.
Do you know how to cook?
Yeah.
We're about
Great.
to find out.
Yeah, I mean, here comes the test.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Ren
gonna be good.
ambles out and sits down on a log.
Liko comes and sits down next to Ren and then looks at Gemi and asks, "So, when did you learn how to cook?"
It's an important thing to learn when you're on the road.
I didn't answer the question.
I learned it years ago when
Years.
I started traveling.
When was that?
A couple of years ago, like I just said.
Like 2? Or 3?
That's
5?
that's the generally accepted measure of a couple is 2.
Mm-hmm. What were you doing before that?
I was in Bossing Say,
Doing what?
learning. I was a kid,
Learning how to travel?
just
Learning
learning.
how to cook?
Some of it, yeah.
What else did you learn?
So, Liko is grilling Gemi while Gemi grills something. I think Ren is slowly tuning out this conversation and just staring at the food. What are you preparing, Gemi?
So I'm assuming we have some nice road-ready rations. So I'm making some porridge and sausage and some vegetables that were handy. And I'll start fixing plates for everybody and put sausage and veggies and porridge on everybody except for Liko's and just give her some porridge and veggies.
Thank you.
You're
Jay's
welcome.
gonna taste it. That's pretty good. And then he's gonna turn and pull out one of the sacks of fire flakes and toss them all over. And eat the food.
It's good, but it could be better.
Gotta have fire flakes. Gotta have my flakes.
It's the only way to start the day.
That's right.
Rozuk, wake up. Food.
5 more minutes, Jay.
Okay.
You just hear pinchy prawns. I'm gonna get those pinchy prawns.
Only in his dreams.
So, Liko, what were you doing a couple years ago?
I was on my own, actually,
Why?
because I decided to leave my tribe. I wanted to
Ooh.
learn more about how to be on my own.
Ah, so you were learning too.
Yeah,
What'd you learn about being on your own?
that not everyone can be trusted.
That's an important lesson.
Mm-hmm. This is good, by the way. Thanks.
This food is really good, Gemi.
Glad you like it.
I'm just glad that I'm not responsible for the cooking.
Yeah, well, I figured I was up and everyone needed their rest, so why not cook, right?
I never learned this stuff.
You said cooking was an important skill to learn while traveling. I feel like that memo was missed by most of my team members here.
Who has been doing most of the cooking till now? What do you think?
Oh, I think this is the first time you've eaten the entire.
Just to have it at all.
It's been weeks.
We
No,
always
you've.
had pre-warmed buns from Osa's person.
Osa's pockets. Yeah.
Even though we never talked about it, Osa was definitely, whether or not he offered any to anyone
Yeah.
else, was frequently cooking.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's probably a lot of things we gloss over because it's not terribly interesting to watch Osa cook for the umpteenth time.
Well, Che also really likes to cook.
Yeah, I feel like Che was going to be in there, and then potentially Rozuk, but I don't know.
We'll never know. We'll never know. What do you guys do? It's a new day. You just keep traveling?
Yeah, I guess we finished breakfast.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask, does Ren still have any physical, external signs of his Kyoshi warrior history? I don't know what they're wearing and stuff these days.
Yeah, Ren is wearing Kyoshi warrior robes, so they're still pretty recognizable despite being a little dirty and beat up,
Okay.
a little worn at this point. But it's distinctive, and I've also got the fans, so it's kind of hard to misplace.
Then as breakfast is winding down, Gemi's gonna look at Ren and say, if you're interested, I think we probably need to hit the road right now, but I'd love to spar sometime.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Always got to train, right?
Right.
Right.
Well, let's drag Rozuk out and keep going, right, guys? I don't know if there's
Yeah, I mean,
time is of the essence, right?
Yeah, we should get moving. I'll just roll Rozuk up in his bedroll and toss him onto the side.
Jay, I'm up.
I was just gonna let you sleep, buddy, but alright.
No, I'm up. I'm ready. Where are we going? What are we doing?
Going to the Earth King. Still doing that.
What we've been trying to
Still
do.
the plan.
And he like pulls out his book and looks at it. Right. Yes. Okay. All right.
Ren pulls out his journal and scribbles down Rozuk 15. Just like puts a notch next to his name.
Alright.
And
we move.
And you all climb onto Rue, start traveling. You notice too that it's not a sunny day. You can see that there are a bunch of clouds that are starting to form, and you start traveling around the Si Wong Desert in order to get to Ba Sing Se. And the flight is totally fine. You take a stop at some point for lunch or something, and then continue on your way. And at this point, probably after around lunch, it's not raining hard, but it starts to sprinkle a little bit. And who's sitting next to Rozuk en route? Or who's sitting behind Rozuk?
Well, maybe I'm sitting in the front, so I don't know,
I'd probably sit next, unless somebody else wanted to. Rozuk would probably be behind Che, so then whoever's left would be behind Rozuk.
I'll be behind Rozuk.
Okay. Ren, you notice Rozuk grip his head like he's some sort of pressure.
Are you okay? And I instinctively Ren puts out his hands to steady Rozuk just in case he loses balance.
And he rubs his head, shakes it, and turns back. He's like, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
You don't seem fine.
No, I'm okay. Let's just it's good. Let's just keep going. I'm good."
Can I roll to try to appeal to his trust instead of self-reliance?
Calling him to live up to his principle, huh?
Yeah.
Why don't you remind the listeners what that move does?
I will once I load it.
Let's see. When you openly give me a little bit more about how you get him to live into trust. But yeah, so when you openly call on someone to live up to their principle, you, Ren, will shift your balance away from center and then name the principle that you're rolling with and then roll with that principle. Let's see. I would say, well, we can talk about this. I don't know if you need to roll. I don't know if this is a big enough thing to roll for.
Okay.
I don't have any there's no sense of I wonder what's gonna happen if Ren asks Rozuk to actually tell him what's wrong. You know what I mean? There's no narrative
sure.
oh, what's gonna happen?
Okay. So Ren would just say, Rozuk, you can talk to me. What's going on?
I got this. Does anyone else have a headache?
A headache?
Uh-huh.
It's fine, it's passing, but yeah, I don't
Sounds
know.
like it's bad though.
It just started hurting. It's fine. No, it's really okay now. I'm good.
Justin, did you say it was drizzling or raining?
It's still drizzling, but the clouds are starting to pick up, and it looks like eventually the rain might pick up as well.
All right. Well, guys, the rain looks like it's gonna get worse. I think we should probably find some place for shelter.
Yeah. We should drop down. Yeah, Rozuk
good idea.
We can keep going a little bit. It's fine. It's really fine.
It's raining anyways, Rozuk.
It's not, yeah.
Okay.
This is not
You'll
great.
be doing us a favor.
I feel emo anyway, so let's go rest. Ren's hair is in an emo swoop from the rain.
You see, you're flying, and you sort of descend down as the rain starts to pick up, and you see a cave that you could fly into.
Liko, that's a spot.
Yeah. Okay, bro, let's go over there. So do we just fly right in?
What do you want? You can land outside and walk in.
Is it big enough for Rue?
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say we take Rue with us just in case there's something else inside.
Caves are usually homes.
You fly into a cave, and it's dark for a moment, and Rozuk sort of lights his hand up on fire, and you can see in this cave, and it doesn't go back very far, and you don't see anything.
This isn't bad. Maybe we can just wait it out here, yeah?
Sounds good to me.
Let's try it.
Che, Liko, can I ask a weird favor?
How weird are we
Rozuk
talking
too?
about?
Can
The
we
weirder
make a
the
hot
better.
tub?
You
I
just
can't
want-
control the heat.
But
No, but
Rosa
Rosa can.
I can make a
Okay.
tub.
Me.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's just, it'd be really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Ren is not wrong. This is a great plan. Che will
Since we're here, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, we're already here.
he'll earthbend out like a, nice sized tub.
Yeah.
Leave it to Lipa to fill it up.
And Rue like blows her ice breath and creates like a bunch of ice crystals and ice for Liko to bend water.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she fills up the. What is the tub already made?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. So she fills up the tub.
Fills it up, and then Liko Rozuk bends down and puts his hand in, and then there's nothing, and then for a moment you just start seeing the water bubble. Steam starts shooting off of it.
Alright, well, I'll make us some privacy, and I'll bend the bottom and ceiling of the cave mouth, like, shut a little bit, but not all the way, so we're not, like, gonna suffocate, and have, like, a slit across.
Ren pulls out from his satchel, like, a luxuriant bathrobe
What?
that you have not seen before. It's, like, clearly clean, unused, very white.
Incredible.
Like, changes discreetly behind a rock and then comes out in the robe and goes into the tub.
Well, if you go to change, Che will, like, bend out, like, a little, like, changing area.
Thanks.
That's no problem. Che will just take off his shirt and jump in.
Alright.
No one else is joining us. We're just, like,
Yeah, it's just
looking
the
around,
two of
like,
us.
all right.
Just the two of us.
I guess Liko and Gemi don't want to come in.
No,
Yeah, no, it's-
Gemi's got other plans.
What do you
Okay.
You guys don't want to come in?
Rozuk goes, I'm gonna lie down, but I know that everyone else had some watches last night, so I will sleep now and take the last watch.
Yeah, for sure, buddy.
Okay.
Are you
Just-
sure you don't want to, like, soak
No.
a little bit? No? Okay.
He just like
He's
passes out
out.
onto the rock.
Yeah, no, he's gone.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry, we're not gonna wake him up for a watch. We're gonna let him sleep.
Sounds like a plan.
Gemi is gonna walk around. I know you said like the cave seems pretty shallow, but he's gonna walk like the exterior edge of the cave and just double check that there's no surprises waiting for them.
Yeah, why don't you roll to assess the situation?
That is an 8.
Okay, so on an 8, you get to ask me one of those questions.
What should I be on the lookout for?
You are walking around the exterior of this cave. Well, Che, you didn't close it in completely, right? So Gimme could walk on the outside, on the exterior.
Yeah, he
right?
lifted up like the
Okay.
floor and lowered the ceiling, but it's still like a
Gotcha.
large enough.
You could still get out. Okay. So, Gemi, you are walking around to the exterior of this cave, and you don't see anything outside of the cave or in the surrounding area. You walk back in, and you notice that, like, Rozuk has stopped snoring, and he's still kind of, like, in his sleep, holding his head and sort of moaning. You hear it, like, the tower.
Nico's
Has
just-
anybody been near Rozuk for a while? He does not seem okay.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like Liko was sitting next to him, just keeping an eye on him and stuff.
Yeah, so Liko, you hear him kind of moaning and just, like, mumbling in his sleep.
Does Gemi still ask that same question, or now that
Yeah.
you know that I was sitting there? Okay. Yeah, he's just been saying like random stuff since he went to sleep.
Does he
What
want
did you
him?
find out there?
There's nothing really out there. I don't think we have anything to worry about, but I'm worried about Rozuk.
Mm-hmm. So am I. I've never seen him like this before.
Jay'll get out of the tub and feel his brother's forehead.
You put your hand to his forehead, and he doesn't have a fever.
Huh.
And you like bend down to put there, and you just hear like, the tower, broken magpies.
What?
Did he say bagpipes?
I think he said broken magpies, but I
Oh,
don't know, it could have been
that's
bagpipes,
just as
honestly.
weird.
It's
So Liko asks Che this question: has he ever acted this way before?
I mean, he's always muttering things, but this is weird even for him.
Did
Yeah, I
something
don't know.
happen? Like, did he fall or?
No, he got into that big fight Dosa, and he was really weird afterwards, but kind of stupid afterwards. But he brought it back, and he seemed fine yesterday.
Was he hit in his head in that fight?
His arm got injured. Oh, Dosa used chi blocking on him. Maybe this is like a delayed effect,
like a concussion or something.
I don't know what chi blocking does to the body. I have no idea.
Gemi, do you have any ideas?
I was gonna say, Justin, how do you think that, given his background, Gemi would have any idea about what kind of things chi blocking does, even if he doesn't know much about it firsthand?
Yeah, you probably are aware of the effects of chi blocking, and this does not seem like something that comes from chi blocking.
I don't think this is from chi blocking. I mean, I don't run into it much at all, but I've heard enough. This doesn't seem consistent with it.
I don't know what else it could be then. Unless he ate something weird.
You said that he was feeling something regarding his friend. Do you think maybe this is something more like emotional or mental that's affecting his, I don't know, the way how he feels about himself or something? Like maybe he's getting nightmares?
Oh, if he's just a nightmare. I'll just slap him in the face really quick.
No!
Hey buddy, you were having a nightmare, you okay?
I'm sorry.
Why does my face hurt?
The nightmare. It was really bad.
Did I punch myself in the face again?
Yes.
What, again?
I'm always punching myself in the face.
Oh, buddy.
You having any weird dreams, man? You okay?
I don't know. I remember a tower on an island.
Were you supposed to do something at the tower?
No, I just heard it calling my name.
The tower was calling your name?
And at this point, he just, he just grabs his head again. Yeah.
Okay, I don't think these are bad dreams anymore.
Yeah.
Rozuk, why don't you keep trying to rest, and the rest of us should talk, maybe on the other side of the cave.
Okay. And he just, weakly lays down.
Ren, would you like to join us, or would you like to stay there?
I mean, you can join me.
Honestly, I kind of like get back in, too.
I mean, the tub is a great place to have a chat, so...
All right, fine. Gemi's going to take off his shirt and get in.
Yes! Still warm. Liko, water's your element. Come on.
Liko just stands at the side.
Water's my element.
You
not
grew up in a
water
swamp.
with a bunch of boys in it.
Oh, surely you were used to boys. Foggy swamp boys with weird grass skirts.
I promise this water's cleaner than the foggy swamp water.
I bet that too.
Anyways.
So the three boys are in the hot tub and Liko's just standing on the outside of it.
Dipping your toes in, perhaps?
No, she's not even gonna try that. She's too...
There's no way that this is less awkward than her just getting in.
That's why it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's such a funny image.
I mean, it's Liko. Liko wouldn't... I don't know.
Yeah, that so funny.
It's perfect. It's so
It's
good.
actually perfect.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of this tower thing?
I was gonna... Have any of you ever heard of a tower on an island?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah? Like a specific... Like an important tower on an island. Like, where is that?
Well, there's the Fire Sage Temple off of the coast of the Fire Nation. It's a giant tower that the previous Avatar, Roku, was worshipped at. I don't know. I didn't pay that much attention to that lesson.
He came from there?
Well, I
from
think
that area?
He lived on an island off the coast of the main island of the Fire Nation, but I don't think he lived at that place. But technically, it's more for the Avatar overall.
Yeah, but he lived near it. He saw it.
I think so. And I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Again, didn't pay too
I know
close
he was out
attention.
of it, but don't you think he would have called it by its name?
That's true too. He probably would have recognized it if he saw it a lot as a child.
Well,
or something.
Rozuk doesn't have... I doubt he was that exposed to Fire Nation history and geography. But it also could possibly have been a different tower on an island.
Does anybody remember if he... Well, Gemi, you had the last watch. Did you notice anything obscure?
I mean, other than chasing some suspicious stuff and being gone for a while, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. I mean, Ren was having some relatively similar but more mild issues with nightmares and talking in his sleep, and so I was checking on him at one point. But
yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry.
no need to apologize.
Che.
Yeah.
did you notice anything weird?
Yeah, I thought I did. I thought I saw like somebody. I chased after him, but didn't find anyone. When I came back, Gammy had woken up and taken his watch.
That's really dangerous.
Yeah, so
That's what I told him.
Yeah, okay.
Can you just wake me up next time?
I will wake you guys up. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I wasn't even sure what I had seen, though. That's why I wasn't as worried about it.
How long were you gone?
I don't know.
Because Gemmy was already awake, so...
It was towards the end of my watch. It wasn't that long.
Gemmy's always awake.
Well, that's not true. I definitely sleep.
His eyes are bugged out like the Kalugo.
I hope he sleeps.
I hope he sleeps.
Intimidation. So, anyways, back. I just don't see. I don't know. I don't know what could have done this. Hey, GM question.
No questions.
Okay. All right.
I'll not be accepting questions at this time.
How? Wait, are you serious, or can I ask you a question?
No. Ask your question.
How likely is it that Najo would have used a poison on his own son, or something of that kind?
I mean, you know your dad, honestly, better than I know your dad.
True. Okay, I don't think that's likely. So,
does Ren remember any tower on Kyoshi Island?
I'm sure there was some tower on Kyoshi Island somewhere. It's too
because
vague.
there's towers
does
everywhere.
That tower call to people?
Yeah, call into people. That sounds very Avatar-y.
I mean, that's weird.
Honestly, I think our best bet is assuming the temple that Che mentioned, considering that Rozuk's a firebender, even if he didn't grow up in the Fire Nation.
Seems.
What do you think? It's like a vision or something?
I mean, that's as plausible as anything else I can come up with at the moment.
So what, like the last Avatar is trying to contact Rozuk for some reason?
I mean, it doesn't have to be the last Avatar. There's a lot that goes on in the spirit realm that isn't avatars.
I have no knowledge of that place.
Good point. And Ren pushes himself out of the hot tub and takes on a meditative position. And Justin, I'm going to try to enter the spirit realm using Osa's training to the best of my ability.
Ooh.
I still think this is still probably a push your luck sort of thing.
Okay.
That's even a conversation we can have right now. I think this is the second time you've done it?
I would say that Ren has tried to meditate in other quiet moments.
Sure.
With limited success.
I would say it's probably still push your luck. I think you're going to need to find someone to teach you, right? Like you learned some of the basics from Osa, but that was a very harried sort of like, okay, do this, try that. I think you're going to need to find someone you can spend time with to learn it before it becomes like a skill,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
For now, it's push your luck.
Okay. Neither of these are comfort, support, or trick, correct? Or assess a situation or resist shifting balance. Okay. Just checking my conditions to make sure.
Yep.
What do we got? 9.
All right. With a 9, you do it, although imperfectly. And I got to tell you what happens. It costs you to scrape by. You project your spirit into the spirit world, and you all see Ren just like his body just stops moving and is very still within this hot tub.
I got out of the hot tub.
No, you're still in the hot tub. You got to
pushed
meditate in the
myself out of the hot tub. I pushed.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to melt.
You push you project your spirit into the spirit world, into the hot tub, because you're stuck there. You're just drawn. You're just drawn to a good time.
Even as a spirit, I just have to get back in the hot tub.
You're like about to look. You're about to look, and you're like, oh, but I could go for a little dip. Go for a dip.
Little spirit soak.
No, you all see Ren's body just still meditate outside of the hot tub.
Thank you.
And Ren, you look over and you can see Rozuk rolling around as he's trying to sleep, and there's like this aura that is coming off of him and moving out of the cave.
Like it's leaving him?
Yeah, there's some aura, and as you look closer, it actually almost looks like the aura is actually moving towards Rozuk, and it surrounds Rozuk, and then the aura moves off of him back in the same direction.
So it's cycling?
That's what it seems like. And as you're as you're looking at this, you start to see this aura move towards you as well.
I clear foolish, and I move towards the aura.
I was gonna be my option was to be you can hop out of the spirit world, or you can let it wash over you.
Like Ren just like has a big spirit smile right now and is like, wow, like this was actually useful. And like, what is this thing? And just moves straight towards it and like reaches out.
Yeah.
Does it have any distinctive shape? Does it look like anything?
It looks
animal or
no, it's just this like energy aura that's like wafting into the room, and it's like this reddish, whitish, purplish color, and it starts to wash over you, and you just see these flashes of this long tower sitting on an island in the middle of this lake, just surrounded by fog, and then it snaps, and you see like this mirror that just gets dropped into nothingness and shattered into a million pieces, and you see a knife that's just covered in blood, and all these images are just flashing over and over you, and then you see like two, they look like birds that are swirling around each other and then get yanked apart with force, and then you get shunted back into your body, and you've just got a splitting headache.
What happened?
Well, I think it worked. How?
So did you fix him, or did you also get the thing?
No. How is he?
How is he?
He's still moaning around.
Okay, so
okay, I didn't fix
Will
it.
somebody just explain to me what happened in the first place? Because all I saw was Ren get out of the tub and sit for a while.
Oh, Ren can project himself into the spirit world, I guess. I don't know.
Ah, convenient.
Sometimes. I saw a tower on an island, like you said, and a lot of other stuff.
Like what?
It was just really crazy, like lots of images. But yeah, there's like a mirror that got smashed, a knife in blood, other stuff. I don't know what any of it means.
Do you have any sense of where it was?
No.
Huh.
So what, you just like touched Rozuk in the spirit world and just started seeing these things?
Well, honestly, I didn't even make it to Rozuk. I was going to go over to him, and on the way, there was this like cloud around him of colors, and then it started to kind of move towards me, so I moved towards it to find out more. I know, it sounds kind of dumb.
No, it doesn't, actually. You know, I could also go to the spirit world.
Is this something that all of you know how to do?
I have no idea. I don't get it.
I didn't know Ren knew how to do that. I mean, like, we did try it once, I think. And, or no, it wasn't with Ren, right?
We all tried it once.
I think we all
With
did. I think we all,
Irons,
because I
but
think
I
it was
have done
Osa that Liko went into with the Iroh
Mhm.
part.
And then
Oh.
Ren did it in the Fortress of Ash.
Okay.
That's true.
Yep.
Osa would know what to do. And Ren just looks down.
Well, guess we'll just have to figure it out.
Well, do you guys want me to go in?
I don't think we need more people with... Ow.
That's what I was
headaches.
thinking. But I think I have more experience than Ren does, and we didn't even know Rozuk could go into that world.
I don't know if he went into the spirit realm.
That's the thing. Like, if it's not, something from the spirit world must have, like, reached out to him.
That's terrifying.
I mean, if you think you can, I don't know, appease the spirit, that I think it's a spirit. I don't know.
What did it
What
look
would
like?
you do differently, Liko? It looked like a mist or a cloud kind of swirling around him.
Was it in the form of anything? Did it look like it was just a swirl?
No. Yeah.
What was around you? Did you notice?
No, I feel like I only saw like the things I said, and I don't know what they meant. It just feels like a weird, bad story or something. I don't know.
Liko is like thinking about whether or not she should do it because she does feel like she is the leader and she can't really risk not being available, especially since right now, like, she doesn't completely trust Gemi. However, I think she doesn't trust Che more because what he was telling her about, like, him leaving, and also, like, she was awake when Che wasn't around. Something's not adding up. Her intuition is telling her something's up. So I don't think she would want to risk potentially not being 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that she has a slight ego, and she thinks that she could probably handle whatever it is on the other side. So
are you in the middle right now, or are you at +1 roll or freedom?
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Che will notice the hesitation and say, okay, well, before you try going... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I got +2 roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much of the distrust of Gemi and Che is Liko actually disclosing to the group right now? And how much of that was like, you just talking to us?
I was just talking to you guys because I'm...
That was an anime inner monologue.
Yeah, that was just narration.
I can't trust either of them.
Because I also don't know if I should be rolling or something like that. So I'm kind of like relying on the GM to kind of help guide me here.
Well, I mean, so far you haven't... Liko hasn't done anything. She's just debating what she wants to do.
We're all just sitting silently while Liko looks between all three of us and says nothing.
Well, yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
There's like a little Ferris Bueller moment. Just looks at the camera and just starts talking. But she took a little moment to the side, and that's what was going on through her head.
Yeah, I like that look into her thought process.
She decides that she's gonna take the risk.
Okay. Then in that case, I think she's a little bit more familiar with it. So let's have you rely on your skills and training.
Okay.
Oh, a 10. Okay. You, in a similar thing, you all see Liko sit, and then her body becomes incredibly still. And Liko, you project yourself into the spirit world. You see this same thing, this reddish, whitish energy aura just floating from outside of the cave onto Rozuk, swirling around him, and then seemingly going back.
Back where?
Where it came from.
So
outside of the cave.
Okay, so outside of the back of the cave. Okay, so she decides to follow it cautiously.
Okay, it would require you to leave the cave.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, you leave the cave and you can follow this energy. It starts to trail off a little bit, but it looks like it's moving decently far away, like miles away.
Okay. Well, she doesn't go that far.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you. Like, you can walk out of the cave mouth and see that it's going pretty far.
What else does she see?
I'm trying to think of what you would be able to see from, like, it's like pouring rain now, and dark and thundering, and...
Does she hear anything other than the thunder?
I'll say that not in the same direction, not crossing the path of this aura, it looks like there's lights. So sort of in the same general direction, but not... It doesn't touch the path at all. It's just sort of like, you're looking northwest, and you can see this aura moving, and then there's also, it looks like lights from a town or a village.
Yeah. Does she feel anything?
You feel...
Like, is it cold, or is it windy, or is it, like, freakishly hot?
Well, actually, I don't know if you would feel that physically, since you're in the material world. And so what you feel is just this, like, crushing weight of despair and betrayal and loneliness.
Okay. She's gonna return to her body then.
You all come back and see Liko move again.
I don't have a headache, right? Correct?
You do not, no.
Okay. Well, I saw that colorful thing that you were talking about, Ren. It left the cave and it went really, really far, and there was a lot of lights. And I couldn't really see anything else, but I felt like darkness, like a lot of despair and like betrayal, and just about every negative feeling you could probably imagine. It felt like there was something on my chest, like it was just weighing me down.
Do you think it was a spirit, or like someone sending something to Rozuk?
I didn't see any other spirits around other than whatever that colorful thing was, which I'm assuming is a form of some sort of spiritual thing or like body, but I didn't see anything else around. So I think this is, I mean, I don't know everything about the spirit world, but this could be what he's feeling right now as we speak.
All right, so maybe someone sent him something is trying to communicate with Rozuk for some reason. What were the images that he saw again? What were those, Ren?
There was a tower that was like standing on an island in a lake. There was a mirror that fell and it was smashed to a lot of pieces. There was a knife and it was covered in blood. And then there were two birds like flying very closely together, almost like in yin and yang formation. But then they were yanked apart.
This might be a stretch, but do you guys possibly think it's the future?
Like a vision?
Like maybe the feeling is also coming from that too. Like you said that his friend betrayed him, right? And he was feeling really down about that.
Yeah.
Dosa, yeah.
Do you think it's possible that he could be, in the future, he will kill him?
I mean, I don't think we can rule anything out, but this sounds more like a haunting to me.
But did it already happen?
I don't know.
That would be my guess. Has Rozuk ever seen the future before?
You know, sometimes it feels like you can predict the future.
Rozuk?
Yeah, I'm gonna try one more
That
thing
guy?
though. Yeah. So you guys said that the mist was coming in through like the entrance to the cave, right? What if I close the entrance? Does he change at all?
No, he's still thrashing about in his sleep.
Now it's just really dark in here. And I'll open it back up.
Like I said, that thing left, but the feeling stayed. And it was really heavy.
So something is trying to communicate something to us. It could be a warning of the future. It could be some sort of message. Either way, it doesn't feel like we have the tools to decipher it.
If it is some sort of like a haunting, something from the past, maybe it's a spirit that can't find rest that somehow attached itself to Rozuk and needs help.
Well, the only way how a spirit would attach itself to Rozuk is if he did something to connect with it. So where has he gone?
Well, maybe.
Did he go
I don't
anywhere
know a
that
lot
the rest
about
of
the
us
spirit.
didn't? Anyone
I
remember?
don't think so.
What's that?
Did he go anywhere that the rest of us did not?
Well, he picked up
Does
Demi.
anyone remember that?
That's true. He did pick me up.
What was he doing
Before
when
that,
he...
he was...
He was dragging Dosa's body through the streets of Amashu.
Yep, sounds like Rozuk.
And so I helped him take the body to the guards, and then we went back to the house you guys were staying in.
You say body, he was still alive, right?
Yeah, he looked dead. He didn't
Yeah.
seem alive, and so I thought it was a body at first. But you're right, he was alive.
I just wanted to make sure. Maybe, haunting and whatnot.
Now, here's my thinking, right? I understand what you're saying, Liko, that he had to do something to attach himself. But if he was in... Again, I don't know much about the spirit world, but maybe he's been in an emotionally volatile place. Maybe he was just more open, susceptible to... Like, Ren just touched it and felt everything. Maybe Rozuk was open enough that it just had to touch him.
It's possible too. But that still like leads to the question, like where was he when it reached out to him?
Yeah.
At this point, it's getting very, very late.
And how's the weather outside?
It's storming now.
Well, we can't
Right.
go anywhere.
Yeah, seems like we're staying here. I can take first watch.
Do I still have the splitting headache?
It's starting to subside, but yeah,
Should we
a little
wake Rozuk up to make a fire, or does anyone know how to?
I
Give
know
me,
how
do you
to
know how to
make a
make a
fire.
I can also
Okay,
make
yeah,
fire.
I figure you know how to make a fire since you know a lot of things because you're learning so much.
I'm assuming we have some sort of supplies to make a fire among the
Yeah,
things that
I
we...
make fire all the
Purchase.
time.
Che is full of explosives.
I'm literally armed to the teeth.
It's a great point that, like, in a world of people that can literally conjure fire from nowhere, would you carry a Kindle around? Like, flint
Demi would
and-
definitely
If
have
you
like
don't have
a
if you
flint.
don't have a firebender,
if you don't have a
Yeah.
firebender, I guess. I would imagine no firebender carries a flint around.
Unless
you
I
know
have
there
any-
are flint collectors.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no,
So
I'll-
Gemi is taking the first watch. Who else is taking what?
I'll take the second one.
Rozuk offered for the third, but I'll take it if I don't think he should.
He
Yeah,
really
I
shouldn't.
don't mind doing 2 watches.
We
if I
don't
need
do
to.
doubles.
I'll take it.
All right.
we'll have a quick dinner, and then you should probably get to bed so you can wake up early.
All right.
Can I think about...
No, Shay can't think.
I have... Well, Nick has no ideas. So Nick is trying to flex Shay's intelligence here, and is there any way I could assess the situation about those images and try to decipher them, or is there a roll I can do to get a hint or something, or are we not even that close?
I will say probably not. They're probably too vague. Could literally be anything. And you grew up in the Fire Nation, and you don't have a lot of training with the spirit world, so I would say Shay probably can't put those things together.
That's fair.
I just have one question. Liko, you are taking the last watch. You were also kind of going in and out of sleep the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, are you doing that as well tonight?
Is Gimme still awake?
Gimmy's taking the first watch, and Shay is taking the second watch.
Yeah, she's probably not going to be sleeping.
Liko's going to take a conditioning.
Okay.
But I think she's kind of used to it too.
Mark all the fatigue.
No, I'm not going to make you mark fatigue. I would say during the third watch, Liko, you've been awake, and Gemi and Shay didn't do anything at all. They were just sat there watching the cave entrance, and you're staying awake as best you can. In your words, you're kind of going in and out of consciousness, trying to stay awake. And it's towards the end of your shift that you close your eyes for what feels like just a second. And when you wake up, Ren and Rozuk aren't in the cave at all. Liko, you open your eyes back up, thinking it's only been a few minutes. It is just you and Shay and Gemi and Rue.
Lemmy's there
sun
too.
has this and what?
Lemmy's there too.
And Lemmy, yes. We forget. Lemmy's small, I forget about him. At this point, it's no longer storming, it's sort of drizzling again, but...
Gemi and Shay and Lemmy are asleep.
Yeah.
Ren and Rozuk are not there. So she's gonna quickly look around. Rue's gonna wake up because she hears her person awake and rustling. And then Liko is going to... Oh, not going to. She is presently trying to contain her panic.
Understandable.
Yeah. I realized that I was asleep, but I don't know how long for. And so then it gets to the point where I have to tell someone. So I wake up Gemi.
Hey, what's everything okay? What's going on?
Okay, don't get mad. I accidentally fell asleep, and when I woke up, Ren and Rozuk were gone. But Rue was also asleep. She didn't hear anything, otherwise she would have woken up.
Yeah, okay, let's wake up Shay and figure this out. I'll walk over and shake Shay awake.
Oh, okay. What's up?
Alright,
where's my brother?
we don't know how it happened, but Ren and Rozuk are gone. We gotta figure this out.
Alright. Do we have any are there any tracks outside of...
We haven't looked yet, but I was just about to.
Alright, it's raining. Great.
If there are tracks over, they would have been washed out, I think, but...
What about at the lip of the cave?
So you can see footprints that walk out of the cave. 2 sets of footprints.
So they're big enough to be Ren and Rozuk's?
And there's none that walk in? So they just left.
Seems that way.
In a white bathrobe. Embarrassing.
Is there boots, or is it one of them barefoot? GM.
Ren would not have put shoes on when going to bed after the hot tub episode.
Yeah, Ren is barefoot and one are boots.
So assuming that these are Ren and Rozuk's footprints, of course, right?
Yeah, they are.
Well...
What, do we just try to fly around a couple of circuits and try to see if we can see them?
Liko, you said that when you were in the spirit world, you saw the spirit leave, right?
Yeah.
Did you see it go in a specific direction?
I did.
Would you be able to lead us there, wherever it went?
I don't know where it landed, but I know the direction. It led... So Justin, or GM, is it still dark, or is it light?
It's lighter now.
Okay.
It's still sprinkling, but the clouds are starting to disappear.
So how early in the morning is this? If there were lights somewhere nearby a city, would be able to see it, or is it too light to see any other lights?
It's dawn, so you wouldn't be able to see any lights.
Okay. Well, Lego just points in the direction of where she remembers the lights were coming from.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's collect.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All of our things. Let's collect their things. And I think that we need to make a plan to not only fly in the direction that you saw the spirit go, but we should try and do sweeps and all that sort of stuff as we go and make sure it's going to make us slower, but cover a little bit more ground in case they went off that same path.
Yeah. Well, let's just go.
Justin, did Ren's fans get left behind as well as darts? Or does it look like Ren grabbed stuff?
You didn't grab anything.
Dang.
Not your
I'm
darts.
assuming they grabbed all your stuff when they hopped on Rue. Ren, the last thing you remember before waking up is a terrible nightmare. Just a tower in the middle of an island surrounded by fog, birds that are flying around and flitting around this mirror that just gets smashed into a million pieces. And then the tower again, and you just softly hear, "Ren song, come." And when you wake up, you're in a village wearing a white bathrobe with no shoes on. And there are people like walking around and giving you this weird look.
I don't blame them.
Like, who is this person?
Is it daylight now?
It is day now.
Ren just like does an instinctive like body pat to check for like weapons and just feels like super naked upon realizing that all he has is a bathrobe. How large is the village? He just kind of desperately looks around.
It's probably around the same size, maybe a little bigger than Wanya. So a couple hundred people.
Still raining?
It's sprinkling, starting to let up, but
rough day.
You're soaked.
I imagine I'm soaked from walking
You're
through
soaked.
the night.
Your feet hurt.
Yeah. Ren just walks towards the buildings, kind of hugs the edge of the town, and just hopes against hope to find a white piece of ribbon or flag somewhere, anywhere in this village.
You are walking around the village and you see there's a blacksmith, and there is a picture of there's like a wood carved symbol, like a bear that's almost like working the forge, and tied around, like, it's this giant wooden thing, and tied around the bear's arm is a white ribbon.
Ren goes in search of the blacksmith.
You open the door, and we will see you next week. What will Ren find inside the blacksmith shop? Will the rest of his crew find him? And where the bleep is Rozuk? Danny's not here. That's why you haven't heard him at all this episode.
Yeah, we didn't say that at the beginning.
We didn't say that. We said it at the end. No, we miss Danny. We love Danny. He'll be back. He'll be back next week. I'm very excited to see where this goes. It's already taken turns in unexpected ways. And if you are interested in supporting us directly, you can check out our Ko-fi page. We've got membership tiers there, as well as one-time gifts as well. And if you don't have that ability, that's totally fine. Just we love that people are listening to us. That's all that we care about, is that people get to listen to us and have fun enjoying the story that we're telling. If you aren't able to support us directly, the best way you can support us is by telling as many friends as possible. And I did hear too that for every friend you tell, Steve will eat their favorite book. It's a lot of books, Steve.
This is a tall order.
Yep, it's a lot of books. Are you up for the challenge?
It's a lot of fiber.
Have you ever eaten a book?
No.
Like in its entirety. Like, be honest.
Yeah. It's okay.
From beginning to end? No.
But like maybe in the middle.
I may have nibbled an edge or something.
A couple pages here and there, but that's not...
Yeah, I mean,
who hasn't nibbled a couple pages?
At some point.
Everyone's eaten a page of a book. Yeah. We will see you next week, everybody. Bye.
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 Avatar Legends was developed and produced by Magpie Games. The worlds of Avatar The Last Airbender and Avatar The Legend of Korra are property of Viacom CBS. Intro music is Dizu by Sendai. Outro music is Tokyo Funk by LAPD Music. Logo and art by Kate and Matthew Menke. You can find more of their work at pomakin.com, link in the show notes.